Hello and welcome back to the Misfits podcast. Rated 5 stars on iTunes by Dallas1091. He says, it good because it good. I just can't argue with that logic.
I agree.
It good because it good.
No better reasoning than that.
I'm joined today by my co-hosts, iNoToRiOuS, a.k.a. Matt.
What it do?
McCreamy, a.k.a. Jay.
Hi, I love you.
So that's great. SwaggerSouls, a.k.a. Eric Vivian Matthews.
Hi, I hate you.
Zuckles, a.k.a. Mason.
Hi.
And John on the radio, a.k.a. Toby, a.k.a. Birthday Boy.
It's my birthday. Very good point.
Yes.
My
We
goodness.
just got back from a nice birthday dinner, the two of us.
Oh, yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Yeah, it wasn't just the two of us. We're not fucking in a relationship.
Oh, I was trying to push that facade.
I knew you were going to take it there. I just wanted to clarify.
well,
his family was present.
Yeah, well, you know.
His grandfather sat across from me.
Yep.
And he grilled me the whole time.
Yeah, you two were playing footsies under the table, weren't you?
He was a sweet old fucker. Anyway. We've been away.
That's nasty.
Well, we missed the podcast, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Whose fault is that? Raise your hand.
Yep.
I'm raising
raised. That's
I
right.
think it's all of our fault.
All of us should have our hands up because, it's all of our fault.
Yeah, no idea.
We were in Melbourne for the last week on a trip. We went to a convention called MEO, and we also hung out for a week. So, I mean, we missed the podcast, but it was in the name of good stories, and some of those stories we're going to share with you today.
It was fucked.
It was probably our most fucked trip ever.
Yeah.
In more
I
ways
had
than
my
one.
first erection.
You had your first erection?
Yeah. What, you guys didn't notice?
Jesus, you're 21 years old.
Yeah, I know it's a bit young, but come on. Clearly, I just developed quick.
I guess you got a fast metabolism or something.
Yeah.
What's the? Okay, so let's get out of the way very quickly. That we're going to break down our adventures in Melbourne into two parts.
Yeah.
The second part, we need another member to be present. We need Bucks. If you don't know who he is, he's a YouTuber. Look him up. He was with us for a very special moment during the trip that we feel we could only really tell with him here. So he's going to be on next week. This week, we're going to tell you about everything that he was not involved with, or at least most of what he wasn't involved with, and get the rest of the stuff laid out for you. So you can look forward to a very interesting episode next week.
Very interesting.
Very exciting.
It's going to be probably pretty intense too. So look forward to that. Who wants to kick it off? I mean, we all flew to Australia.
Yeah.
Me and Toby and Jay flew from Auckland.
Yes, we did.
Swagger and iNut flew from America.
Yep. LA to Melbourne with edibles.
And I caught a train from Geelong.
You did a few edibles, if I might understand correctly. I don't actually know how your flight was. How was your flight?
It was really good. iNut and me, we had like a layover for like 2 hours at LA. So we were like, fuck it, let's go out to the same dispensary that you went to before to pick him up.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, dope. So we go out, we buy our edibles, and then we try to go to In-N-Out, which is right outside of the airport, completely packed. So we weren't getting food there, so we were like, oh, fuck, let's just eat at the airport. So we took out the bag of, they were like this taffy. Oh, God. They were called Chiba Chews.
Chiba Chews.
They were these strawberry THC edibles. They each came in packs of 10, but instead of being 100 milligram each, it was only 10 milligrams each.
Oh,
Can I just say...
Yeah?
Can I just say, I love that a podcast is basically just an edible review channel.
I mean, I'll give you
So
my
this week we tried
I'll give you my
this.
honest review. I'll give you my honest review because he ended up going into the airport. He ended up sneaking them in through security because they don't care. It's LA. And so we're sitting at this place called Umami Burger, which was coincidentally the same place that
the exact same place we ate last time.
while on edibles before.
Okay.
And so we each have our burger, and I'm like, yeah, like the gate's opening in like 15 minutes. We should just eat them. These things were like in his bag, and because it was like this taffy, the box was really weird. Like you had to fucking rip off a layer of the box, and then you had to rip off like a layer of cardboard and then pop these taffy things out.
Yeah, and they were all like stuck behind like foil too.
They were
it was
sticking
such a
to the
fucking
foil.
mess to get them out.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So I'm literally ripping them out and just fucking like
It took us like
inhaling them.
5 minutes to eat it. It was
It's
just
literally
not
me
fun.
and Matt. So just imagine this. Two fucking idiots standing up in the middle of a food court. Everybody's sitting down eating, and we're just manhandling these gummy wrappers and just fucking ripping shit out and just gumming it down. And everyone's just kind of looking at us. No one cares because it's L.A. and you can just smoke a bunch of weed, get high fucking outside the airport. It doesn't matter.
Plus, it's an airport too, so like literally no one gives a shit to anyone around them in the first place. Yeah.
Everyone's keeping to themselves. But dude, we're just inhaling a box of them to ourselves each. And then we ended up going on the flight. I showed him some music to listen to because we got pretty baked like immediately.
Right. Oh, yeah. I was actually awake for takeoff this time.
They were quick onset gummies. They were very, very interesting. We didn't have to take a fucking bus onto the tarmac. It was good.
God,
we just direct onto the plane. It was very easy boarding. I ended up syncing music. I was syncing music to the takeoff. Same. Just to really feel like you're in a music video. It was actually Career Opportunities. It was my friend's band, their latest shit. We used one of their songs in a promotional video.
Yeah,
for one of the things we did.
So did the edibles knock you out, or did you have an intense flight?
God, it was intense for me. Good for him. For me, it was different. I was the other side of the fucking coin.
Oh no, it was like fucked either way, but still, like you wake up 10 hours later, so it wasn't too bad.
Here's my rationale: like, I'm high, I might as well enjoy being stoned out of my mind on an airplane. So I'm gonna watch a movie.
Sure.
And up to this point, I've never watched Infinity War. Never watched the Avengers movie, Infinity War. So I'm like, oh shit, I can finally watch this and understand all the memes. So I put it on, and I was just getting more baked as I was watching this movie, and I started to lose track of the plot, and I really didn't care. I knew what was going on. I'm like, oh look, there's Spider-Man. Oh, there's Doctor Strange. Like, oh, there's fucking everybody. Like, oh, okay. They're trying to kill this fucking raisinette-looking motherfucker. And I'm like, all right. And
why are they disappearing? Why are they disappearing?
Dude. I was peaking to the point like when Thanos, spoiler alert by the way, when Thanos got all 5 Infinity Stones and then he snapped his fingers and people started to disappear, I felt the most animalistic fear. Like I had like a huge anxiety attack, like because I was watching this shit and I was like, oh my god, that's actually fucking scary. And these people are just disappearing to ash. And I'm sitting there freaking out, and then the movie ends on a terrible fucking note.
Yeah, it's a really bad ending for edibles.
And I'm like, that wasn't a good movie to do for my fucking eat edibles. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to sleep. Went to sleep. Had a dream that the plane crashed into the side of a mountain, and I died instantly in a fireball. Woke up doing this. and Matt woke up and he was
sweating?
like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I just had a fucking nightmare. I'm going back to sleep." Went back to sleep, and I woke up. I was in fucking Melbourne, and I'm like, "Oh word, hell yeah, all right."
Yeah.
And then you came there to watch the KSI Logan Paul shit.
Yeah.
That fight.
Yikes. Did you fly economy?
Economy X. It was like a premium.
Oh, that's right.
It was nice.
Oh, Economy X felt so much better. It was so worth
leg
it.
room. Leg room.
Oh.
Speaking of leg room, how did we fly, Fitz?
Well, myself, Jay, and Toby, we all met up in Auckland and flew out. We flew out in premium economy. We flew out in style. We decided to just pull the trigger and kind of up the class a little bit.
10 times better, dude.
Yeah, we're so rich. We
are just loaded YouTubers. I've never flown premium economy before. I'm always very frugal, and I always like to fly economy. But after experiencing premium, I'm like, dude, there's no way I'm going back. It's like just so good.
I love that this is what we're talking about. Like most YouTubers, it's like, I tried first class or I tried business class. We're like, well, we tried a slightly better economy, and boy, howdy.
Have you cunts tried fucking carry-on luggage? That shit's fucking lit. I mean, no, premium was great. Premium was a really, we all had a very relaxing flight. We were dead cold sober, arriving in style, ready for business. Yep. And we all arrive. Well, actually, we arrived the day before Swagger and Ina. Nothing really happened that night. And the next morning, they arrived early, and we all gathered together. At what time would it have been? Like 10 in the morning to get fucking high and watch the KSI versus Logan Paul fight.
Yep.
10 in the morning, we start ripping the bongs. We start fucking, and we're
9 in the
Full
morning.
into it.
by the way, the fight had already aired, so we had to be very careful not to check our social media because we all wanted to
Completely
experience
off
it
the
together.
grid.
Yeah.
So we were off the grid for the entire day, just like, oh my god, we're gonna watch this together. And yeah, we turn it on, we find the right VOD, and man, I gotta say, like, it was an entertaining thing to watch. Like, for what it was very well produced and everything.
Yeah.
And but what happened was we were watching this fight, we were kind of getting into it, like, oh, what's gonna happen? Like, especially with the final fight with the KSI versus Logan Paul, we were like, what the fuck's gonna happen? Like, this is intense. Like, they're really going at it. And
Logan
then
was like juking him and shit, and like taunting him in the ring.
well, for those of you who didn't watch the fight, here's basically how it happened. So Logan Paul started out very strong, throwing some good hits, just looking like he
Guy's
wasn't
a mammoth.
wasting any energy. KSI was just taking hits like pretty hard, and then Logan Paul starts taunting KSI a bit and doing a little bit of showboating. KSI starts coming back, and then by the end of it, like, Logan's looking real tired, and they're both looking really tired, and they're both getting good hits in. So we're kind of like, but towards the end, we were like, dude, what if it's rigged to be a tie? We started saying it. We were like, dude, I swear to God, if this thing's rigged, I'm gonna be fucking mad, you know?
Yeah.
And then the fight ends by default, and it's up to a decision with the judges. And sure enough, it's a fucking tie. It's a draw.
And what's funny, our manager bet on it being a draw, and how much did he win?
The only reason he bet on it being a draw was because he was like, all right, I'm going to bet $100. And he was like,
Yeah.
oh, well, if I bet $100 on either one of them to win, I'm only going to get a little bit back. It's not really worth it. So he was like, fuck it. I'll just bet $100 on it being a draw because at least then I get a proper payout. And he fucking won.
How much is it? Is it 13 times or something? Or what?
I think it
Didn't he
was
say he made,
14 or something.
Yeah, he made quite
so
a lot.
So he bid 100 and he made like $1,400, which is nuts. I really wish I knew about this because I would have fucking bet. On it, I would have bet.
I would have bet a lot of money.
Dude, I would have bet like $1,000 and got like 14. Like, holy shit. Here's the fuck thing though, because and as we saw the results, all of us were so sure it was rigged, or at least staged to be that tie. Because I mean, I didn't personally know at the time that it had already been leaked that they had another fight scheduled in early next year, like February.
It wasn't leaked. I think that was just the plan from the get-go.
No. It was leaked, and then they just made it the plan. Like, it was in a contract that got leaked, I think. I might be wrong about that, but I'm fairly sure that's what happened. And then they just kind of owned it.
Yeah.
But, like, that's fucked if that's the case.
Yeah.
You know,
Very illegal.
some YouTubers are still acting like it wasn't rigged, but it was so clearly
But
rigged in my
I
eyes.
can get like, hey, like they threw an equal amount of punches. It was like a fair fight because it's hard to choreograph an entire fight. Like, it's hard to do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
but they did. Like, no one can deny they were putting the effort in. You know,
I know, but the thing is, when they said it's a draw, and then you see their fucking faces drop, and then they're looking at each other like,
Oh,
"Whoa!"
no way.
Then it's hard to believe.
Serious?
It's hard to believe. Like,
it was
come
literally
on.
like a posing for a clickbait thumbnail. Like, it's that. It was that. It was like, holy shit, this is fake.
We get another $20 million. Whoa!
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about it. Like, on some level, it's kind of like really gross, and I think it's like potentially illegal if that's the case. I don't know if anyone cares, but like, if you're rigging a fight that has betting for it, surely that's highly illegal, right? But maybe I'm just fucking wrong. I don't know.
The most entertaining fight was the Scarce versus Rakaraka.
That
was
the most wholesome too.
Yeah, it was so wholesome.
That was the best.
That made it all worth it.
Props to
Super
Scarce,
wholesome.
dude. That guy really put himself out there.
Yeah.
And fucking,
Scarce, you're a legend, buddy.
Yeah.
yeah, seriously.
You're the man.
But yeah, anyway, let us know what you thought about the KSI versus Logan Paul fight in the 5-star reviews down below. People are probably sick to death of hearing about it. We're already like 2 weeks late to getting this out, so, you know.
Hope you
fucking,
enjoyed the free stream on Twitch.
Yeah.
Monk ass.
Anyway, people are probably more interested in what we actually did in Melbourne besides smoking weed and watching the fight, because that wasn't exactly what we hyped up the trip to be. Just fucking. So, I guess so. Yeah, what happened that night? I think we just kind of chilled that night and kind of got reacquainted. We just smoked a bit and hang out.
Saw McCreamy for the first time. He saw me.
Oh yeah,
It was
it was the first time.
Saw Swagger.
Yeah,
saw each other's faces. Really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome putting a voice to a face.
Yep.
yeah, very wholesome, guys. You want to kiss or something? You good?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, this is really cute.
if you want, I guess.
Moving on. Okay, moving on.
Wait,
Please.
Fuck, you started it.
Jesus, fucking.
I'll finish it.
Okay, can we just stop with the gay double entendres, please? Holy shit. The next night, we went to the casino, I think. I think it was the next night. So
Yeah.
Bucks was there for that. So Bucks are a good YouTuber friend. He's from the UK originally. He lives in LA now. Go look him up.
Yeah.
So the
He's
Misfits
great, dude.
and Bucks and
It
our
was-
manager.
It was a split. It was kind of like a quick decision, though. I think it was Bucks, Mason,
Yeah, so-
and I's idea to go to the
Yeah.
casino. Because I
So
just wanted to lose a lot of money.
we were out for dinner. We had a
Yeah.
big dinner because it was our manager's birthday.
Oh, that's right.
And then Mason was just like, I want to go to the casino.
Yeah,
And,
and I was like,
we
"Fuck
were
it."
with Chad, Anything for Views, and he was like, do you guys want to come and see the Cool Shirts office, which is a clothing line he works with?
That's right.
And so we all went to the Cool Shirts office and we did a little photo shoot in some of their clothes. And then Mason was like, let's go to the casino. And we all went to the casino. And
right.
that's what happened.
That's when
Yeah,
it
so
started.
we hit the ATMs. We were walking to the casino. I think I got out 200 originally.
Yeah, I got out 500.
Jay's just fucking crazy.
This was the first time Jay had ever been to a casino.
Jay is a literal gambling addict. Okay,
not
I'm just
even
saying
true.
that
I
right
got
now.
out like 500, 400 or 500.
Jay went
Yeah.
there at the start of the night. He's like, I'm just going to go all in. He didn't want to have fun. He didn't want to do anything. He
Yeah.
was just like, nah, my plan is to go all in.
Yeah.
And we're like, I mean, okay.
Yeah, and I did, and I lost.
Wait, what? You lost 500 right off the bat
Yeah.
that night?
Yep.
I win it. It was my plan. I was either going to win or lose, and either way, I wanted.
But
to
you
be
took out
quick
more
and
money then,
painless.
right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah,
because
I lost 500 at the
We
start
all
as
did.
well.
I took out another.
Yeah, I lost.
200.
Yeah, that's right. So we all walk in. We all put it. I think we all went all in, or more or less. So I put my 200 on. I lost. Jay lost. I don't know who else lost, but we all
lost.
kind of lost.
Mason lost a lot.
So we're like, fuck. Back to the ATMs. I got on another 200 or
Yeah, I got
250
out
or
too.
something like that.
we were walking back to the ATMs and we were like, I think Buck said that he wanted to go get 200 out and go all in.
No. Bucks
And-
had like 200 left over.
Yeah, he had
and
200
wanted
left
to put
over.
It all on. So
and we were
like,
going
fuck,
to the
I'll do it as well.
ATMs because a couple of other people were like, yeah, I'll go in with you then. And then I was just like, you know what? Why don't we just all say we all get our 200 and we all do the exact same bet at the exact
Yeah,
same time?
that's right.
That'll be a story. So we all went and we all got $200 out
Except
and then
Mason.
ventured back into the casino.
Yeah, except
Everyone
Mason.
except Mason.
Except me.
Yeah, Mason. Did you just cut your losses at that point of the night? I can't
Oh
remember.
yeah, I'm pretty much out from this
He,
point
could,
on.
he literally
700
couldn't
out.
take out any more
See,
money. He
Ryan was telling me that's not true. Ryan was telling me you don't have a limit that low.
It's like $800, and I was already fucked.
Yeah, so you lost 700, so you couldn't take out the 200. I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah. Oh, he lost 700. Dude,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, that was fucked. Yeah. No, Mason did not have a good night. Mason is not a part of this fun story. Mason was kind of just tagging along, looking all depressed in the
But
background.
the thing is, his negativity actually, I feel like it helped. He kept on
That
saying,
was
"You
the
guys are gonna
karma
lose.
out.
You guys are gonna lose."
He was the sacrificial lamb of
Yeah.
the night. But yeah, we all get out this 200. We got that cash in our hands. We're looking all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and we head back into the casino. They check our IDs. They're like, these fucking dumbass kids. What are they doing with
yeah.
their
What are
money?
these guys up
And-
to?
And so we head straight to roulette because we don't fuck around. Okay.
We don't care.
So we're looking at the odds, and it's like, oh, there hasn't been a black in a while. That means that statistically it must be a black because that's how odds work.
That's how it works.
So we're just betting on black and red. If you don't know how roulette works, there's a whole bunch of who the fuck doesn't know how roulette works. It's like basically it's almost a 50-50 chance, but it's not quite because there's a green.
Yeah.
Fucking
in
Google
there
it.
as well. It's like 49% chance that we'll hit one of them.
Yeah.
Maybe. So yeah, we just put it on black. We win. We're Pog champion. Now we've got $400 each.
Double up.
Okay. And now we're like, okay, different table. This table is now cursed.
So
We
I mean,
walk to a different table.
we were all standing around this table, all holding our 200 chips, and we were like all Pog champ. We were like sitting there. I don't think we win it on the first roll. I think we got the guy to spin it a couple times without anyone betting, and then we were
Yeah,
like, all
that's
right.
right.
Was this
And
the,
then we just all put all of our chips on that black.
And then we all held hands.
Yeah.
We all held
Yeah, we all
hands in a
held
prayer
hands around the
circle.
table.
Was it the guy who we asked like what we should put on? And
Oh,
he
yeah,
said,
we asked him, and he-
you should ask the devil instead. And we were monka-essing, so we held hands.
Yeah, but anyway, we won the first table. We moved to a different table. We win that table. Next thing you know, we got $800. Okay, we got $800, and then we're like,
moving up.
okay, shit. At this point, I'm like,
So-
I'm cashing out, boys. Like,
what
this
happened is
we're getting too lucky.
there's multiple levels to this casino. So we go to the first one and we bet and we win. And then we go down to the like really budget casino. It's like this really shitty level for some reason. I don't know why it's there.
Yeah.
And we bet there. And then we're like, well, we have to go to a different room now because these two have already done well. So we go up to like the third floor, which was like a pretty empty floor, to be honest. And we were walking in and we decided that we would go get a drink first.
That's
And
right.
then we went and got tequila shots.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we all
tequila.
bought tequila shots, which took forever to set up, by the way. And then we decided that it would be a great idea to take a photo, which took even longer to orchestrate.
So we all had our 800, and we were like, well, a lot of us have lost around 700, so let's not go all in again. Let's bet 200 this time.
Just to make it
So
even 1K.
We find a table. We wait and we wait for the perfect moment. We pick a color, and then we all put 200 on, and we fucking lose. And
It
then
was
fucking
shocking, dude.
Bucks out of nowhere just goes, let's just go all in with the 600, and we all do it.
But we got our bad luck out of our systems, you see.
Yeah.
That's Bucks is a wise man. He knows how statistics work. We got all our bad luck
Yeah.
out of our systems by losing that little bet.
All on.
Now it's time to go big boy. So yeah.
$600, every single cent we had, we put
Yeah.
it all on what was
Yeah.
it,
So
black?
in other words, there was
Yeah,
5 of
black.
us. There was
Yeah.
5 of us all putting 600 on. So we put $3,000 on whatever color it was.
Cameron was gripping my hand.
Dude, I was, you know what I was doing at each of these, and this happened every single time we won. Every time we won, as the ball was spinning, I fully composed myself and went into this weird Zen state where I was like, I accept if I lose, and just an odd calm came over me, and I was just like, I was like tense physically, but mentally I was clear as day. And I was like, this is fine.
I was the complete opposite.
And I was watching the ball spin, and all our chips are sitting there, $3,000 on black, and I'm just like watching this ball spin, and I'm like, we're going to win. And I just accepted that was the reality. And what do you know? Bam! It's on black, and I just
And then
fucking
bang, we fucking got
I just
it. Oh.
run. I'm like, yeah! I like yell, and I start like running around the casino.
Yeah, dude,
I'm like,
we were all yelling. We were like, yeah!
It was the biggest success
Everyone in the
story.
casino was staring at us. It was so good.
Just these dumb fucking kids, just like, and then people started peering over to see how much we won, like
Yeah.
expecting like $30,000, and like, oh, fucking pussy
There was
shit.
there was
It's
$6
$30,000.
grand on the table.
It was awesome though. We were so far down.
Yeah.
We made a sick comeback.
Yeah, and we ended up all walking out of that casino with
Yeah.
1.2K each in pocket.
The best part was
Everyone but Mason.
that the only bet that we lost in that streak was the bet that we didn't go all in on.
Yeah.
The only one we
That's
didn't go all in on was the one that we
It's the
lost.
little bit.
Fate.
So you got to get that bad luck out of your system. You got to like throw the devil a bit of a bit of a
The cheeky
something like
eye,
that.
cheeky
So
yeah. Anyways, don't gamble.
there's don't gamble, but
Don't
there's something
gamble.
so satisfying of like, because I've been to that casino a couple times, and I've just kind of I've been like, okay, 200 out, I expect to lose this, and I didn't
Yeah.
really like care. I didn't try. There's something very satisfying about actually finding the cash out station, which is actually really hard
Which
to
was
find.
so
because
hard to
casinos-
find.
because
So
casinos
hard.
don't want you to find these things. Walking to the other end of the casino to find this cash out desk, watching them count your chips, stack up the $100 bills, and walking out of the casino a wealthier man than when you went in. There's something
Yeah.
very like, I beat the devil kind of like vibe
Yeah.
with that.
So true. And we did it as a group. That was the best
Yeah,
thing.
that
Yeah.
That was
That
what
was
made it so
great.
hype.
That was PogChamp.
It would have been nowhere near as cool if it was just one of us.
No way.
No.
We all stood around in a circle with our cash fanned out like absolute douchebags and took some Instagram story photos.
And then there was this Mason with his
In
empty
the,
hand.
in the photos, you're going to see Mason's empty hand. Just
Mason had like, I'm pretty sure he had like $1.20 in his hand or something, and we were all holding $1,200.
poor Mason. Just the
Poor
worst luck.
Mason.
And he's the one who needed it the most as
I
well. He's the one who
know.
deserved to win the most. Poor
I reckon
Mason.
I'm the devil.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
But yeah, I mean, was that it for that night? We kind of just walked out, and then I think we went back to
just went
Ryan's.
home,
and
We were
Yeah.
real hyped
Yep.
after that.
We were hyped.
Oh, and then Chad came out and wanted us to go back in.
Yeah,
That was
And
that
we were
was
like,
that.
you won
No.
500.
Yeah.
And we were like, nope.
Chad, for those of you who don't know, is anything for views.
Yeah.
And he is a bit of a gambling addict. He's got like a mild
Self-banned
problem.
from that casino. He's
Yeah.
self-banned and he sneaks in.
It's because he
He's the
lost.
kind of guy who's like lost 10 grand at a casino. He's like,
He said he lost like 10 grand in a night and then just went up and self-banned himself.
You just see him tiptoeing in.
And then just sneaks in.
casinos let you self-ban yourself so that
Yeah.
they'll stop you at the door because you have
Yeah,
a problem.
because they all
basically.
have all casinos have like cameras everywhere, and they have facial recognition, so they actually stop you at the door. So Chad said that he walks in like with his hood up so that he can get in, which is so funny.
Which is just so retarded because he banned himself to not go in there. So he's just lying to himself. So that's how you know it's a problem. But he's fine. But anyway, he was like outside trying to convince us to go back in because he wanted to win his 10 grand back.
I was going
and we were
to.
just
I
like,
was so
nah,
close.
no chance. Yeah, Jay wanted to because he's a fucking addict. But I was like, nah,
wanted
guys,
to.
I'm telling you, that's the luckiest we're gonna get all night. Like I'm telling you, like so. Yeah, we ended up just waiting for the Uber and we went home. And I think that was it for that night, really.
That was a good night.
The next thing on our list here of shit that we did in Melbourne is a little weird. I'm not sure if this was the next day or
kind of odd.
Kind of odd. We'll just say it's the next day for story purposes. I'm pretty sure it was. So
Yeah, it was.
it's in the morning. We're at our Airbnb. We're just kind of relaxing after a night out. It's like maybe 10 a.m., 11, or probably more like 12. And manager Ryan walks in with Sam and a few others. And we're just sort of like, we're just chatting about shit. And then randomly Ryan just goes, "Can I have your attention, guys? Can I please have your attention?"
He just walks up onto the stairs, pulls out his phone, starts filming, and gets our attention.
Yeah. And he's like, "So we're going camping."
Keep in mind, it's winter.
It's winter. And we were not feeling like camping right now. Let's just say that. So he's just like, "Yeah, we're going camping." And immediately everyone's kind of like, What? What do you mean? And then Toby's like, "No, we're not going camping."
So,
fuck that.
yeah, because I messaged Ryan earlier that day because one of my friends had texted me and said, apparently Ryan's going camping. So I texted Ryan and I was like, "Are you guys going camping?" And they're like, "No, we're not going camping. It was a joke." Right?
Yeah.
So I thought when he came in and the fact that he started filming, I thought he was just trying to get a reaction. I thought he was just joking. But I also didn't want to go camping.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, and he's just like dead serious. He's like, "What? We're going camping? Like that's what's happening today. You guys are going camping, and that's that."
I was on board.
And so
like a
yeah,
little
Swagger's
kid being told
Swagger
by
was the first one on board. Jay was immediately like, "Fuck that, fuck camping."
I was like,
bad
I was just
idea.
like, why out of everything are we going camping? Like,
Yeah. Mason wasn't super keen either. Oh no, Mason was coming around though. Mason was coming around. I was kind of like,
for either.
Mason seemed
Yeah.
happy at the beginning and then towards the end seemed less and less happy about going.
I mean, I sort of was like, after I realized he was serious, I was like, "Fuck it.
Yeah.
We don't have anything else planned. Let's just fucking like be spontaneous and go camping." So Ryan had these tents in the car ready to go. He had tents and he had like blow up mattresses, and that's all he had pretty much for our equipment. So it took some convincing for everyone else to be like, "All right, like we're actually doing this. Okay, cool, we're actually doing this." Like Toby was really not keen, but he came around. Jay was really not keen, but he came around. And eventually we all just accepted the fate that tonight we would be sleeping in some bunk ass tents. And that's just how it's going to be.
Sketchiest fucking stuff.
Although
So
Fitz and I didn't have a bunkhouse tent. We had a fucking nice tent.
yeah, what
We'll
the
get
fuck?
to
You guys
that
had like a
later.
hotel.
We'll get to that later. So we're like, okay, well, what are we going to need to go camping? We're like, okay, well, we're probably going to need some food. We're going to need some like drink. We're going to need some supplies to, we just need supplies basically.
Weed.
So,
Yeah, and
So
me being a snob, I was like, we need cigars.
We need
Yeah,
some
what the
supplies.
fuck?
So myself, Swagger, Jay, and Toby, right? We all split off to go to the supermarket to get supplies. What did the rest of you do? I'm not actually sure. Did you do anything?
They went
in
and
that
got
time?
camera batteries.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the
okay.
speed
Oh, yeah.
bump.
You guys got a few other things,
Yeah, we went
like
shopping.
some few tech supplies.
Shopping in the supermarket with Fitz, especially when he got recognized.
Exactly.
And I was right next to him, and so I just pretended like I did not even know any of the people in that aisle, and I just went around looking at the olive oil like I was going to make spaghetti and meatballs that night. Just completely stone-faced, didn't say anything,
Yeah.
walked out into the adjacent aisle, fucking stayed there.
Of course, Fitz will get recognized when he's hanging out with the only two people that don't show their face in the group.
Me and Jay.
So yeah, we were like shopping. We got this cart full of like random ass shit. Like we got torches, we got fucking saucies, we got like a pan, all this like random shit, like all this stuff that we could potentially
skewers.
need. Ton of like lollies and shit, skewers. And this like bloke who's like almost, I think he's like as tall as me. Like this, he was in like a school uniform. He's probably in his like last year. It's like, "Oh, are you Fitz?" Swagger just keeps walking like he doesn't even fucking know me. He just walks around the
off into
corner.
distance.
And I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, "Oh, cool, man. I love your stuff." I'm like, "Thank you." And we take a photo, whatever. We keep shopping. We get our supplies. We get a bottle of whiskey, and we head home. And from here, basically from shopping onwards, I've never felt like more of a group dad in my life than I did on that day.
my God.
Seriously, like just like rounding these fuckers up into this like SUV. We got a rental car, right? This rental SUV, like that I'm driving. We've got all this. I'm like, all right, make sure everyone's got your bedding. Okay, we're gonna need. Hey, Jay, you got your sunblock?
got
Get
your
fucking
pillows? You got a pillow?
Yeah. I'm like trying to make sure everyone's got their shit. I'm trying to like go before sundown, which is looking less
Yelling
and
at
less
us in the
likely.
back seat, Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we packed the car up with all our stuff. We got so much stuff. and we hit the road. So we're in one car, the Misfits, all of us, the 6 of us are in one car, and then like manager Ryan and Sam are in their other car with a few other friends.
It's so funny seeing Fitz driving the fucking car.
Literally a dad.
Literally mom
I'm driving
and
this
dad in
like
the front
V-dub
seat.
SUV, just like fucking like. So yeah, we drive away. We're like leaving the city. I'm like playing my music and shit. I'm like having a good time, just enjoying my little car and shit. Toby's in the passenger seat next to me. Jay and Mason and everyone else is in the back, just causing a bit of a ruckus. Fuck, what were the highlights of that road trip? There were a few good moments where like it was just Zuckles at one point decided it was a good idea to just start blasting his Nightcore music through his Bluetooth speaker.
We did it. We started rapping.
He started rapping. They were constantly joking and acting like little shit kids and like asking for ice
'cause
cream. And like, are we there yet?
Mason and Jay are just like two siblings when they hang out together. They're just like two little kids. It's so funny.
Yeah, they just go back and forth with like all this bullshit. Like you're trash. No, you're trash.
He stole Toby's camera and started playing the worst game of I Spy I've ever seen in my entire life.
He literally just goes, I Spy, and that was it.
Yeah.
And
we're
we're all
like,
like,
what is it?
mate, you're supposed to give us a clue.
Yeah.
What?
Mason plays this fucked up version of I Spy where he doesn't say I Spy with my little eye, something beginning with X or A or whatever.
He just
says I Spy, and then he lets you figure it out from there. Like, what the fuck
And
is that?
the worst part was the entire thing was just a joke where he just had one of his eyes closed, and we were supposed to say I Spy Black. It's fucking stupid.
That's the worst joke of all time.
No. Yeah. It was
So,
bad.
I mean,
it was an interesting
so we're
car ride.
driving. It was actually a lot of fun. We were leaving the city.
Yeah,
it was
great.
already getting dark, and I was like, okay, we've missed sundown, so this is going to be fucking fun. And I'm just like processing the reality that we're actually going to be fucking camping tonight. No joke, like no pussy shit. We're camping tonight, and that's that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck it. This is life. Whatever. Let's do it. So we're driving, and it's a classic family road trip. We stop at a gas station to pick up some ice and some firewood for a fire. I get recognized again at the gas station.
And then I have to walk right the fuck out the gas station and back into the car.
Yep. So and this kid was like, he was like physically shaking, and I could tell that he was looking at the other guys and be like, I want a photo, but I don't like know who's. So I was kind of just like, we're just gonna go now, thanks. And he was like, okay. So yeah, sorry. It's kind of awkward when Swagger and Jay are on public with their faces. And he's like, I could tell he wanted to take a picture with everyone, but obviously he can't. So yeah. Anyway, we leave the gas station. We keep driving. It's getting very dark at this point. And the drive was about how long? Like an hour and a half?
Yeah,
It was like an hour and 20 minutes sort of thing.
Too long.
Hour and 20 minutes.
it was nice.
Yeah. So by the end, we're kind of like, it's like pitch black. It's probably about 8 p.m.
Yeah, we arrive at the campsite in pitch black darkness, and we had to set
Yeah.
up tents.
Yeah. So we pull up the car, we get up the tents, and it's cold, and we just realize like,
cold.
fuck, it's cold. This is not the camping thing we envisioned.
It was so cold, and what did me and Mason decide to do? We took off our shoes because I accidentally bought my $800 shoes. So I was walking bare feet in the actual freezing cold, and I was certain I was getting pneumonia.
We looked like the douchiest campers, like I pull up and we
I set up both of
Jay
those
and I were
fucking
both wearing
tents.
human races. And
Yeah. I'm still in dad mode trying to get Zuckles and Jay to actually do some
We were
shit
just
because I just know that if we
I'm
don't
doing
get
it for them.
get
They couldn't even hold the fucking flashlight.
dude, they
couldn't
were
even
so
do that.
useless. Yeah, I just knew that if we didn't get it sorted quick, it's just better to get the stuff sorted like ASAP. Otherwise, they're in the cold for longer than they should be, and it just becomes a whole thing. So I'm like trying to be productive, and we're setting up the tents. We actually got them up pretty quick.
Yeah.
We had 3 like bunk ass little tents. These tents were so
Little kids'
shit.
tents.
So tiny.
They were like kids' tents, right?
I hotboxed mine.
Yeah, we had this pavilion tent which was designed to fit apparently 6 people, but
So-
in the end, just me and Toby ended up
Yeah,
sleeping in
the
it.
idea was
so dog.
that we had 3 small tents that there was 1 per tent, and then we had the big tent which was going to have 3 people in it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Jay and Zuckles were like, "No, we're going to sleep together in this tent."
We had to, dude.
Yeah.
So they chose to sleep together in this tiny ass tent.
And they
which
didn't
they
even
also
blow up their
yeah,
air
they also
mattress.
decided not to
Yeah.
blow up.
So-
They
I
did air
can't,
mattress
dude.
they
I'm
were sleeping on.
asthmatic. My lungs aren't capable of it.
I was inhaling chemicals. I couldn't do it.
You're not supposed to inhale.
In the tents, it was only half the battle. We had these garbage air mattresses that Ryan bought just like at last minute, which we all had to blow up, which took forever to blow up. And Jay and Mason,
We couldn't do it.
they couldn't do it. They were like trying to blow it up. They were just complaining the whole time, like bickering like little brothers, like, yeah, it's so hot, I'm asthmatic.
Guy.
Fucking. And eventually they just decide, fuck it, we'll just leave it like how it is. It's fucking fine. We'll be fucking fine. And I'm like, guys, you know you're gonna regret that later. Like, you're gonna regret it later. And they're like, no, it's fucking fine. Fuck it. We're cold. Fuck it. Let's go set up the fire. So me and Toby get our 2-1 set up. And Swagger and Matt as well have their setup. They actually fit perfectly in the little tents, which was kind of perfect.
What's funny is we were camping in these bunkhouse tents with like this really nice, linen white sheets that we had taken from our Airbnb.
We just yoinked them. We just yoinked the sheets from the Airbnb. So yeah, we set up our beds and everything. We're like, cool, that's set. Let's light a fire on the beach, which is illegal, by the way, and hope we don't get caught.
But we're badass like that.
We badass. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Illegal fires. That's what's up. No. So yeah, we walked down to the beach. It's fucking cold. It's dark.
It was so bad.
Literally, there was nothing good about being on that beach besides the fact that we could just say that we were on the beach. It wasn't like the typical romance of like fire on the beach.
There was
sunset.
sand everywhere.
and it was
just
windy and the
sandy
fire was
and
blowing
cold.
ash in our face and
Yeah.
it was just the worst. But it was so
We
good.
cooked well.
We
though.
cooked
did
sausages
well.
in a pan over the fire, and I don't know how
was
much
sand
sand
in
got
it.
kicked in there, but
so much
all I could taste was the fucking bikini bottom, dude.
It was
I'm
literally
legit.
like a garnish.
So we set up the fire, which actually was surprisingly quick, and we're all huddling around this fire because it's so cold. And we start with a few like marshmallows on skewers, which went all right. They were actually pretty nice. We crack out the whiskey, have a bit of that. Toby
Lot of
lights a
weed?
cigar, finds out it's disgusting. A little bit of weed we passed around as well.
A little
Very
bit of
nice.
weed.
It's quite a lot of weed. And yeah, we're just trying to get warm. But the problem was that it was windy, and no matter what, at some point, someone was getting fucked by the fire smoke.
Yeah.
Because the wind was just blowing all the smoke into your eyes, and it just
I had to
stung
stand
so
there.
bad.
Yeah, my eye is fucked up right now and I can only assume it's because of that.
Yeah, so
did play
I mean that
Mafia.
was not good.
Mafia was
But
fun.
overall,
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, we cooked the sausages on the frying pan, which, I mean, the first batch was actually pretty good, which I had, and then the second batch not so good. Lots of salmon in the pan, and then we played Mafia, which is like I don't know how you describe it. It's like a game you can just play with a bunch of friends. It's like a game of wits, which was actually pretty fun. We played a few rounds of that.
It was super fun until you and Mason started going absolutely at each
Oh
other's
my
throat
God,
about
you
the
were
rules.
screaming at each
Oh,
other.
they were
I have it on
literally
recording.
screaming. It was like a father
Yeah.
and son, like go to your room type thing.
So what happened is that Mason made a dumb decision in the game, and he
And he refused to admit that it
Yeah.
was a dumb
Tried to
decision.
justify why it was good.
So after the game, I was like, Mason, you kind of fucked that for everyone by making that decision. He was like, no, I did the right thing. Your version of the game fucking sucks. And I had to like explain to him like for 30 minutes. And at the point I knew he was winding me up, but I was just kind of like doing it because it was hilarious to yell at him. And yeah, we just kind of went at it for a little bit, yelling and shit.
Yeah.
And then we realized the reality that we had to actually put out the fire and be in the cold again and pack
so
up all our
sad.
shit on the beach and fucking go back to our bunk ass tents to sleep. And this is where shit got kind of fucking whack. So we all get our shit together. We're walking up. We pack up all that stuff. We walk it up, and Ryan and Sam and all them are basically like, "Yep, okay, bye guys. We're going to our hotel."
We booked a fucking hotel and left all of us out there camping in tents.
In winter, in literally negative degree
It was
weather.
so cold.
Manager, by the way,
Yeah.
fucking just like has a hotel, and they're like, yeah. So he's like, yeah, we're ditching you, and we're gonna go to our hotel. Just call us if you die. We're like, okay, that sounds like a reasonable thing to do. And yeah, we all start getting ready for Betty Boys.
Oh my god.
So you want to talk about your Betty Boys experience?
Okay,
here?
all right. So me and Mason came to the realization that when we got to our tent, we were like, "Oh fuck! Wait, we didn't blow up the air mattress. And even though we knew that, we were like, fuck it, man, there's no way we're ever going to get it done. So Mason goes in first and he lies down and he's like, Jay, you need to lie down right now. And I was like, please don't let it be uncomfortable. Please don't let it be uncomfortable. And I lay down flat and it literally felt like I was lying on like just a
Microscopic mountains, dude. Microscopic mountains.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was so bad. And then combine that with the fact that we had 2 blankets and Mason was saying that I was yoinking all the blankets when I wasn't. So we argued we had like a tug of war.
I'm there in my tent, literally across from them, and I'm ready. I got my blankets bundled up. I had my fucking phone charging. I had my
all of us,
helmet on.
iNot, Fitz, and Swagger, we're all so comfy.
And I just hear, no, it's mine! It's mine! My blanket! It's mine! And I was like, what the fuck? I just hear them yelling at each other, like,
Everyone else was just silent in their tent, and then we all just listening to Jay and Mason just arguing like fucking brothers. Like,
so
it was
I unzip
so
my
funny.
tent, I take this giant fucking flashlight that we brought, and I just start shining it in their tent. They're like, oh, it's so bright! Is it day? Is it day?
The funniest part ever was when you got us recorded, like you were shining the light on the tent, and then we both open up the like little hatch, and you just see our faces looking out like
2 fucking little goblins pulled up in a cave.
It was so trash. I tried to pretend like it was okay, but it wasn't.
yeah. Meanwhile, me and Toby are in our big tent, and we're actually like, I'm like, this is actually not so bad.
Yeah, because we could have easily fit at least another person in there, and
but we didn't tell them that.
So toxic.
We just knew that. We just
so
knew that it would just be so bad.
they had to live with their mistakes.
We slept through.
Well, that was the thing. Like, Toby was like, do you think we should let them in? I was like, no, they made this decision. They're going to live with it.
Whoa.
And I was like, this will be a good lesson for them. This will be a good life experience.
You know what? We slept through their bickering and woke up to them sleeping in the car.
Yeah, the funniest
At
thing.
4 a.m.
in the car.
I woke Mason up. I woke him up because I was just so fucking cold and uncomfortable. I was like, Mason. And the cunt has the audacity to sit up and say like, I'm comfy as, I'm warm as. And I'm like, there's no way! You're just lying to me. And
The ground's pretty nice.
So it's like 4 a.m. and I wake up to footsteps outside the tent, and Jay and Mason just quietly bickering to each other like, oh, we need the keys, we need to get the keys, man. Oh, we need to get the keys on. And they come up to the tent and they're just like, Toby, are you awake? I'm like, yeah. What do you want? And they're like, do you know where the keys are? And I was like, for some reason, I thought they would be in Fitz's pocket. I don't know why I thought that. I was like, they're probably in Fitz's pocket, and I'm not waking him up.
Scary.
So there's no way I'm waking him up. And
I'm like the dad. We're like, fucking, don't wake Dad up.
Wake up, Dad.
they were just standing there like, come on, we need the keys. And I was like sitting there like, do I wake him? Do I like figure out where the key? And then I found the keys, luckily.
And I
was just like, all right, kids, you can sleep in the car.
It was so awesome. It was literally saved.
The other idea
us.
was better.
You said that sleeping in the car, it was so cold that your condensation was raining on you.
It was, dude. It was so moist in the tent that it was dripping on me.
Yeah. So I wake up I wake up first at like 6. I just kind of lay there and then I go back to sleep. I'm like, but I'm like cold. I'm like, man, this is actually really cold.
Yeah.
But I kind of go back to sleep, and then I wake up again at maybe like 7:30, 8. I'm like, holy shit, this is really cold. I hope everyone else is okay. And at this point, I'm like, oh, I wonder how Jay and Mason did. 'Cause I slept through that whole interaction. So I kind of get up slowly and I'm like, oh, okay, I was hoping it would be a sunny day. I was hoping we'd wake up to sunlight, but it was actually a really cloudy, cold day.
I mean, it was winter.
Like, fuck.
So
it was frozen.
So I'm like cold as fuck, and I'm looking around and I just noticed that Jay and Mason's tent is empty. And I'm like, oh boy, what the fuck? So I'm like, where could they have gone? And then I look over at the SUV and I'm like, I bet you they fucking pussied out. So I'm kind of like storming over to the SUV like, what the fuck, cunt? I swear to God if you boys are in there. And I open it up.
It was
and
so
of course,
scary because I heard a knock on the window and I was like, no, it's fucking Dad. He knows.
I open up the door and I'm like, what? Oh, so you guys decided to sleep in the car, huh?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh man, you have no idea, dude. It was so cold. It was so cold. Fitz, we had to.
I wanted to steal the car.
Yeah, Mason last night was literally, he was whispering. He came up close. He was like, oi, we should get the keys and we should just drive off to scare them. And he was dead serious.
Jay wouldn't do it. He was the pussy. He was
There's
the big
no way
pussy.
that's a pussy move. You were going to carjack and fucking, we're going to go on a road trip. No
Yeah,
way.
that would have been fucking good as.
No way.
Oh, wouldn't it?
First thing I thought of when I realized you guys were in the car was, did they leave the keys in the ignition overnight? And do we
Smart.
have battery for the morning?
Smart person.
So they were smart enough not to do that. I open up the door. It fucking stinks in this car.
No, it doesn't.
Stinks
No
of like
way. That's an
two dudes
over-exaggeration.
sleeping in the car. I'm like, fuck, okay. But I'm like freezing. So I like get in, I close the door. I'm like, where's the keys? I turn on the heating. And we just kind of chat for a bit.
Nice.
And when I figured out that because we went to bed at about 12 and they actually hustled it out till around 4 a.m. So I gave them the pass. I was like, you know what? That's actually fair enough. You know, you guys lived with your mistake long enough to.
Like, moral of the story, always blow up the air mattress.
Always put in the effort so it's easier for you later.
And second moral of the story, if there's an offer for everyone to have an individual tent, why don't you just take it?
Yeah, just take it.
And third moral of the story, never fucking go camping
Don't go camping in the winter. No way.
in the winter at night.
With no preparation.
That was so dumb, but so cool.
It was kind of hilarious. I mean,
It was worth doing.
once we were arriving and it was dark, I realized this is just so fucking funny. Like, how fucking dumb are we to do this
pretty fucked.
with these bunk ass tents with this like last minute shopping? Like, we're so stupid. But all in all, as an experience, like it actually turned out pretty well. Like nothing that disastrous happened. Like
It was
we didn't-
fun.
It was.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we roughed it for a night, you know? And yeah, so basically everyone eventually wakes up. We have to go through the fucking painful process of packing up all the tents and equipment in the cold.
I have sore as fuck eyes from the fire.
That was so bad.
Yeah.
You know the best thing about you sharing a tent, you have to pack up less.
Yes, that was the one
200
smart
IQ.
thing.
You guys didn't do
because-
any packing in the first
and
place, so what does it matter?
Because we didn't blow up.
You didn't set up your own tent.
Yeah, you
set
guys
up
were pretty useless
I'd
in
like
general.
to
You guys kind of
interject.
stood around a lot.
We
I'd
had
like
to
to
leave
interject.
the air mattresses there. We had to poke a hole in one of the air mattresses because we couldn't
my
deflate
God,
it.
yeah.
So Toby just opened the
yeah, we
keys.
just stabbed
I'm like,
it.
I'm like, I can't open it. We're all taking turns trying to open it, and Toby's just like, oh, here, I got it. He takes his fucking keys and just stabs a hole in it. He's like, yeah, there you go, that'll work. And I was like, all right,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, guess who didn't have to deflate theirs? Yeah, 200 IQ.
That's right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so we pack up the fucking tents and we all get in the car and we're kind of just like, breakfast? Yeah, breakfast.
We had no
breakfast,
rooms for the
breakfast.
tents in the car. We just
They were
left.
just fucking
Literally
left.
just
Yeah,
left
we
it.
just text driver like, pick up your fucking tents, and we just drove off. We just like got all these mangled ass tents on the side of the road.
Sandy.
We're like, yeah, if you don't want to litter, pick up those tents. So I mean, Ryan did that for us later, but we packed up the car with surprising efficiency. I'd say we did pretty well that morning. Like we really got our shit together. We got it all in the car, and we all in the SUV, just smelling like pure shit. And we're like, all right, let's find a place for breakfast. So we
I
drive
just like
along
to
the road, we
specify,
find a
Fitz
little-
keeps saying SUV, which sounds way more fancy. It was
Yeah.
actually a minivan.
It
was kind of, yeah, it was a minivan.
But it was nice. It was nice. It was a Kia minivan.
It was cozy.
In my mind, that's what an SUV is, but I guess an SUV is more like a nice Chevy, like a nice big one that you like an Uber.
Yeah, an
Black
SUV is
kinda
more
thing.
like a truck.
Yeah, it's more of like it was more of a minivan.
Yeah, it's not
It looked like a really fucking lame Tesla, like a real bunk ass Tesla, like budget, like terrible. So no, but it was an alright car. It did the job.
It was fine.
It was fun.
Yeah, so we get breakfast and then we drove home, and the drive home was more or less peaceful.
It was sweet.
Yeah. Anyway, we get home and we kind of just unpack the car, and we're just like, what the fuck did we just
Why
do?
did we do that?
Yeah, we had to
What the
put all of
fuck
our
was
fucking
that?
blankets in the laundry so we weren't sleeping in sand.
Yeah.
It was such a
That was fun.
bad. Oh, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I mean,
Have sand in my
Ryan,
feet.
the reason Ryan made us spontaneously go camping is because he knew that we'd get a good story out of it, and he knew that even if it was like bunk as hell, it would still be a funny experience. And I realized that, early on. I was like, fuck it, even if it's bad, like we'll still be able to talk about it on the podcast, and we'll still get a good adventure out of it. So yeah, I mean, be more spontaneous in life, listeners. That's the true moral here,
Mm-hmm.
Or don't, or just live a life of comfort. It's really up to you. What's next? What happened next?
Should we just do MEO? jump right down the aisle?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Sure, let's
Well,
go-
I mean,
yeah,
we went to
talk
the
about
casino
rest.
again, and I lost another $2,000. So like, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's talk about that.
we
Let's
got
talk about this. Let's talk about this.
Oh,
So
no, I feel so bad.
So we have this dinner with a friend, a very good friend of ours, and this friend of ours knows how to drink very, very well. And it's a really nice dinner, and we're kind of I don't know, we're eating and we're ordering lots of shots, and it gets to the point where we're
He
literally
orders
doing
this
a round
massive,
of shots.
It was
massive
that-
bottle of sake.
It was at
Yeah.
Nobu in Melbourne.
We do tequila, we do like cocktails, we do more tequila,
Espresso martini.
espresso martinis, and then he's like, "Fuck it, let's get like
Bottle of
two big
sake.
bottles." Yeah, a big bottle of sake.
this
a
was
big
my
bottle of
first
sake.
time like properly drinking too.
Yeah. So I'm excited for Jay because Jay actually didn't want to drink at all
Yeah.
tonight, but we kind of convinced him into it for the boys.
Peer pressure.
No, it wasn't even peer pressure. It was just for the boys.
Jay and Mason are sitting next to me, still acting like the little brothers that they are. Yeah, they're getting so hammered. Zuckles was so wasted. Jay was like, "Fucking drinking's awesome, cunts. I love this. This is fucking sick."
I hated it. Then I was like, more, give me more.
Yeah, he wanted
Yeah.
more, dude. He was craving
Yeah.
it. I was like,
He
what
was
the
loving it.
fuck, cunt?
It was awesome.
So it gets to the point where we're literally doing, and there's about, how many of us would there be around that table? Like 12 of us? 14?
Yeah, about 12.
Like 12 of us around this like big circle table, and it gets to the point where we're doing shots like every 5
I think
minutes.
we had about 14 shots of
Yeah.
sage each. Like,
Yeah, and each
Had a
person, like
lot.
we're going around the table, and each new person's doing a toast like around the table. So I don't know, it was a great wholesome drinking experience. Like really,
Ainsley made an appearance.
yeah. For Jay's toast, he did the Ainsley impression, and everyone pog-chammed over that. But no, it was just a night of really good food and good drink. And then what do you do after a night of good food and good drink?
Lose all your money.
You go to the casino, which is right
Yay!
upstairs. So I have like a lot of cash left over from the casino. So I'm like, cool, I'll go to the casino. I don't mind. I've already won this money anyway. I'm already up in profit. I don't care if I lose it. So, but Mason, on the other hand,
Oh, I'm such a bad friend.
what'd you do?
I was down. I went in with 300. Mason went in with nothing. I dropped the 300 instantly, as usual. Lost it, and then I was like, "We Mason, we should get out 500." And he did it.
No.
It was me. It was
that
my
was me. It
fault.
was me.
I mean, I'm a bad
Rip.
friend, and we lost it.
Yeah.
And then Swagger. Oh
Poor
man,
Mason.
Swagger.
Yeah, all of
I
you
lost
guys
all the
actually
money
lost
I
your
won.
money.
I lost all the money I won.
So yeah, I mean, did all of you lose all the money you won?
Yeah, we're so bad.
I'm in
Hey
debt.
Matt, did you go to the casino? I can't remember.
I
Were
think
you
I went
there?
on one of the nights.
Yeah, he did.
And then I was hanging. I think who was it? It was Jay and Swagger at the end. I was down like
Yeah.
$200.
Yeah.
I only had $100 left. I was like, "Fuck! I'll just cut my losses here." And they're like, "No, go back. Just put it all on black.
gotta
put
do
it all
it."
on black."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, fuck it. All right, throw it all on black and lose." Of course, I'm just like, "Okay." Well,
I did a like $700 blackjack hand. I got 20 in the deal. I got 21.
Oof. Yeah, so you guys all lost. You guys all went bust. Me, on the other hand, I kind of split off with Chad, Anything for Views, and our friend who's he's also not only good at drinking but also good at gambling. So I'm kind of like playing it safe. I'm like putting in like little bets, and I'm winning, and then I'm losing, but then I'm winning again. So I'm up in profit. And then our friend gets the genius idea of, like, every time we win, so we put 100 on roulette, and if we double it, we go and buy $100 worth of drinks at the bar. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, that's a lot of money to spend on drinks. But at the same time, I'm like, fuck it.
Might as
You know?
well.
It's just, I won the money. Like, why not? So let's just make a night out of it. So we're just fucking hammering drinks. And you boys came to the bar for some of that as well. We did Jaeger bombs.
Jaeger bombs.
We
They're
did
awesome.
shots. I think I did like an old fashioned.
Did champagne.
Yeah, at one point in the night,
Yeah,
I spent
Cam's- Fitz
I
spilled
spent
it out.
$170 on this bottle of champagne. This bottle of, like, it wasn't even good champagne. In a store, it would be worth like, $75, but at the casino, of course, it's worth 170. I order it. He puts it on the counter. And when I get drunk, I get quite physically clumsy, like with my hands. I always
Yeah.
knock shit over. Like in my head, I'm okay, but physically I'm terrible. So I just immediately knock over this bottle. It spills everywhere, and I lose about half of it. And I'm like, dude, no worries, it's my fault. I'll just live with it. So I take that back. We start hammering the champagne and chilling for a bit, and we're just talking. And then our friend orders another bottle of champagne. And at this point, I'm realizing, like, man, I'm getting fucked, like, so fucked. This is so much alcohol, like. But I was still mentally in my conversation, I was feeling reasonably, like, weirdly okay. But I noticed how drunk I was when I started spilling more glasses of champagne and knocking them over. And I spilled a lot. I spilled the bottle, and I spilled 2 or 3 glasses worth of champagne, like a total klutz. But anyway, I mean, I just got fucked, and we had just a really good time chatting. And Chad was there. I was chatting to Chad and getting to know Chad a lot better. And then Chad's like, "Okay, do you want to go back to the roulette?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Come on." And I'm like, "Okay." So we go to roulette, and Chad's like, "Give me your money, I'll bet for you." I'm like, "Hang on a second."
Wait a minute, this does not sound
I don't know
good.
if I trust a problem gambler with this. And he's like, "No, don't worry about it. We'll be fine. We'll be fine." So he bets like 200, and I win. And I'm like, "Oh, thanks, Chad." He's like, "No worries, different table." He's like, "Give me your money again." I'm like, "All right, Chad, I trust you. I'm just going to let you do this." And Chad knows how to do roulette. So, I mean, he takes my stack. I give him all my money. He puts all my chips on the table, like in different places, all these like weird numbers, specific things. He puts some of them on like things that if you get it, you win a lot, but it's like lower odds. And he spreads them out. And I'm like, "Chad, what the fuck did you just do?" and this weird guy at the roulette table, just this random guy is like talking to me like, "Oh yes, so you guys like in real estate or something?" I'm like, "No." I'm like trying to talk to this guy. He's like wasted. And then I'm just watching the roulette thing, and it stops. And I look at Chad. I'm like, "Is that good?" And Chad's like, "That's very good." And I'm like, "Holy shit, we won even more money." And so yeah, I mean, it turns out I won like I think it was 1.5K.
What a lucky dog.
Damn.
And Chad was trying to get me to bet more because Chad has a problem. And I was like, "Nope, see you later." Going straight to the cash out booth, going home, like kind of thing. So I like stroll over to the thing. They give me my $100 bills, and I'm like, "Bye, Chad." And he's like, "Fuck you." And I'm like, "Bye, friend." And he's like, "I'm busy." And then I go home with a pocket full of cash, basically.
Yeah, that was an awesome night.
It was a great night. Yeah, it was really good to get Jay drunk.
Yeah, the most memorable part for me was I was drinking a lot more than I ever have ever, and I was fucked. And Swagger, he came up to me and he was like, "You should probably stop at the point where you don't feel anything the more you drink." And then I just in my head was like, "Oh my God, that happened like an hour ago." And I just sat down and I was just freaking out. And then
You would have kept going.
I would have kept going if you hadn't have said that. I'm so glad you
I
did.
didn't want you to black out your first time getting proper drunk, because that'll scare you and you'll never get drunk again, which isn't good for content.
Yeah.
So-
Oh my God, I'm so glad that you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was stressing it. I was like, "Jay, you're going to be fine. You just need to drink a lot of water before bed, like a lot of water."
And I woke up the next morning absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so fucked in the Uber home. I was like, "Oh, I'm wasted. I got to drink so much water." But I take care of myself when I get home. So I got home. I drank like 4 or 5 bottles of water, like 600 milliliter bottles of water. I brushed my teeth. I like made sure my money was there. I put it aside. I like took off my clothes. I put them in the clothing bin. I got into bed and I was like, "Nice, made it.
Saved.
This is so
That
epic."
was
Mission
that the
complete.
night? Was that the night before MEO?
It was a couple nights before, but nothing
Okay.
happened the next night. We took it easy the next night. We just grabbed dinner or something. So yeah, let's talk about MEO. I mean, we're already at about an hour, but we can make this an extra long episode because we missed
They
the
deserve it.
last one.
It was
So there
very
you go.
awesome.
So that's most of the fun stuff. We're going to talk about the real fun stuff next podcast with Bucks, but that was most of the kind of wackiness. Juicy shit next week. Let's talk about the actual event itself. The reason we were all in Melbourne together. Who wants to take the lead here? Okay, cool.
All right. So the main reason, I mean, the only reason really, why we chose to go to Melbourne was because we had the event MEO to go to. They offered to give us the moolah in exchange for some attendations and stuff.
So what?
So we
Well said.
You're welcome. And then so we go to this event and we have to go in through the back door because Swagger's a very secretive man. And we were treated very well. We had good security and everything.
Yeah,
it was great.
they were actually really on top of their shit.
Yeah.
I remember we had to go in through like a fucking back gate where they let in the cars, and then you go through the arena, through all these different like underground floors, and then you have to go up through the elevator and you're there.
Yeah.
But we were getting escorted there, and we were with one of the guys that was managing the event, who was escorting us through the arena. And I had my helmet on, and then there's this one guy in his suit outside from where we're walking in, and he's like,
Always
"Oi,
that one guy.
you got to take your helmet off." I was like, "No."
Yeah.
And then my manager, Ryan, he goes, "No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't have to at all." And then, so that insulted the man's confidence, and so he was like, "All right, mate, I'm going to have to be rough." So
I mean-
he had to fucking go ahead and be like, "You just got to take your helmet off for the cameras." Like, I understand there's that, security
Yeah.
issue. So I was happy to take my helmet off and flip off the cameras.
Yeah.
And put my helmet back on.
I mean,
So-
it's just the security procedure.
Yeah,
it makes
I
sense.
get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
These are guys who are more just like they just work general security at these arenas. Like
course.
they're like not they don't work with MEO. They just work for the arenas and they
Yeah.
just have a procedure. So yeah. Anyway, you showed your face and he was like, "Okay, you're a real person. Go in."
Yeah, I'm not a
So
robot.
It's kind of redundant, but
You're not a
whatever.
knight.
It's more so that if he turns out that like a guy in a helmet lit off a bomb in the arena, he knows what he looks like. Sort
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Which
So-
thankfully didn't happen.
We walk
yeah.
in, we get escorted straight to our meet and greet, and we go in there. There's a few people around hanging out, and our meet and
Dude,
greet.
there's a line out the door. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We're walking to the place where our meet and greet is, and there's literally a line out
Yeah.
the door, and we're like, "Is that for us?"
That's
and then we
exactly
see
what I
them start
thought.
waving at us, and
Yeah.
we're like, "Holy shit, that's for us!"
It was huge.
It's like
the turnout
500
was
people.
insane.
Yeah, and our meet and greet wasn't on any of the event schedules. It wasn't on any of the signs or anything. It was purely us advertising it, and it was huge.
Yeah, on Twitter and the
Ginormous.
podcast.
I love how a lot of our fans are like awkward fucks like us. So like they don't cheer us on when we go past them. They're just like,
Yeah.
"Oh," like whereas if like you had a KSI event or something, they'd be like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, man, yeah, kill it."
It's just like they just realize like, "Oh, these lanky cunts are really what it is."
exactly.
Okay,
Holy shit, it's
Like,
them
"Oh,
in person.
It's the Misfits. Oh, look how normal they look. They're just like us.
Yeah, helmet and everything.
Yeah.
So the meet and greet was scheduled for 30 minutes. And we're like, we kind of got in there. We've done a couple meet and greets before, and we knew that it was going to last at least an hour.
Yeah.
We were expecting it to last like an hour, and we're like, okay, 30 minutes. I'm sure they'll keep it going. And 3 hours later, we were finished, and the actual event center place was closed. That was how over schedule we were.
Yeah.
As soon as we finished the meet and greet, they left it open for us. They're like, "Yeah, you have to leave because this area is meant to be closed right now. But your meetups."
Oh yeah, all
went
these
overtime."
employees who were like working overtime just because we were there, like they were supposed to be going home at this point, and
Yeah.
we were just like keeping them working because,
Which we didn't know at the time.
well, I
we
kind
were
of
just
knew
doing
that
our
was
thing.
why. Yeah, fuck, dude, they were. I can't tell you how blown away we were by the turnout. Like, thank you so much to everyone who
Thank
came
you
out.
so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for the hugs.
Thank you to the lady who asked me and Mason to sign your titties. Very, very appreciating.
some very nice people that we met. But I kept asking people, how long have you been waiting in line? And they kept saying like, oh, about 2.5 hours.
And Fitz is like, "Fuck, no."
I was like,
Yeah.
what
And
the
you kept
fuck?
asking people after like the 1 hour mark. They were like, "So how long have you been waiting in line?" And then they'd be like, "Oh, an hour and 40." And then you just be like,
I was
"Oh,
nervous.
fuck," like that.
I was just nervous.
It's
I
like,
was
you
no.
waited that long to see us.
It was
Yeah.
it was pretty it was very humbling.
Yeah.
was so
It's nice
cool.
going to these events because we kind of get a look at what our actual demographic is, because you're never really sure with YouTube analytics. And
Yeah.
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with having like young fans, but it's kind of a relief to go to these things and realize that, oh, our majority actually is like 16 up at least.
Yeah.
And a
Yeah.
lot of them actually older people.
There was one kid who looked like he
Harry.
was like 8, but
His name was Harry, boys.
he was adorable.
yeah.
He was
so
adorable, but at the
Shout
same
out
time,
Harry.
it was like, I was looking at his dad like, you need to tell him to stop watching that shit like ASAP Rocky,
Yeah.
because that's not appropriate.
That is
But no, he
not
was
okay.
really nice. Yeah, no, it was really good. I mean, everyone was super nice, and it was just great to shake everyone's hands and sign their stuff and take lots of photos.
Yeah.
Fuck. But I was exhausted after that. 3 hours of standing and doing all that was just like, we did not expect it. Basically,
Yeah.
it was at least double any turnout we've ever had. So thank you so much to everyone who came out to meet
it was
us.
very
It's
cool.
awesome.
The guy
So
kept
good to meet
coming
you.
and asking us if we needed chairs, and every time we're just like, no.
Do you guys need chairs yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys need chairs yet? It's been like 2 hours.
Damn it, Greg!
We don't need the chairs.
We had our manager get us fries, and we just had cold fries sitting on the table.
I kept offering them to the fans. I was like, hey,
you want a cold French fry?
It's like, yo, what's your name? Tim. Nice to meet you, Tim. You want a fry?
You want a cold fry?
And they're like, no, it's fine. I really just want to take a photo and
Take
leave.
a fry.
I've been waiting in line for 2 hours. No, it was pretty funny. The whole thing is just so funny because we're just such scuffed cunts.
Yeah.
You know, like we're not celebrities. I just felt so humbled by it. It's like, really, you waited 2.5 hours for us. Like, what are you, whatever. I mean, I guess I understand it and God knows I appreciate it, but I was like trying to compute it at the same time. It was just so, I don't know. It was humbling.
We get it.
So
we love our fans.
Yeah. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Anyways, we leave. The staff are kind of like, you got a lot of fans. We're like, yeah. Over here.
Me and Mason walk out like, God, we're famous.
Yeah, we walk out feeling like absolute ballers, like walking through. We got like security escorting us back to the underground, like secret layer. We're like, yeah, fucking no photos, please. Meetup's over. Could have bought a ticket. Peace. See you later. And we hop in the Uber and we hop on home.
And then that night was the after party.
Yeah. So yeah, we have like a couple hours downtime at the Airbnb, and then we're like after parties on. So okay, how do I explain this? So MEO,
I didn't go to this.
Jay didn't go to this. Jay,
I should have, but yeah.
Jay's not really used to drinking, so it's fair enough. You had a very full on week, so I was kind of like, I'm not going to pressure Jay to go because sure, like, take your time.
We've all been on these trips multiple times. This was Jay's first trip with us.
You got to pace yourself. We're getting much better at handling this, but yeah. But anyway, this is after party at 11, and all we know about this after party is that Swagger is supposed to be DJing at this after party. And we don't even know what that means yet. So
my only concern was, do I actually have to know how to DJ? Because I don't know how to DJ, and I don't want to disappoint an entire after party by not bringing a cue or anything like that. So I was assured that I'd be on the decks and more of a hype man. So I was fine with that.
So we go off to our night out. Just all we know is that it's leading up to this moment where Swagger's DJ, and I kind of planned on going up there with him as well. So everyone except, I mean, Toby, you stayed behind for the first part as well. So it was me.
I went to the actual party thing, but I didn't go to the sort of pre-drinks you guys had.
Yeah, so we go to this bar, this gaming bar called GG Easy with Chad, and we meet up with Creator, Baza, Prestige Clips, and Loserfruit, who are other Australian YouTubers. You probably know them.
And they got fucked with us.
We see them there, and we're like, oh, it's you guys. Yo, what's up? Because there's not many. I mean, they're really the only other gaming YouTubers in our sphere, you know, like it's Misfits and it's their crew kind of thing. So it was dope to see them, and we just chatted for a bit and started hammering the shots right in the door, like it's like shots, 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 shots. Do some Jaegers, do some Jaeger bombs, and then we're like, this place sucks. Let's go to another place. And we walked to this other place, and Chad is on directions, and he like goes the wrong way 10 times before we find it. And we're just chatting and having a good time, and we're kind of just hyping each other up and just, catching up. And we get to this other bar, which is like an arcade. I can't remember what it's called. It's like an arcade. There's like arcade machines everywhere. It's kind of like a Bartronica. It's like a nerdy kind of vibe. It was a good bar, actually. I enjoyed it. Like, the music wasn't too loud. It was easy to talk. And we're just getting more and more hammered. We catch up with our good friend that was in the previous night at the casino. And he knows how to drink, like I said. So I'm getting fucking hammered with him. And by the time we left that bar, we were all, properly hammered. And now it's getting to the time where the after party's coming up. So we all go to the after party.
Swagger who goes home.
I had to get my helmet from the Airbnb, so I go back with my friend Peckett, and then we end up rocking up at this after party.
Which, we're walking in and we're like, oh, this is where the party's at. Like, the music was booming and there was a lot of people in there. And I didn't know what to expect, but they were like, we walk in the door and immediately, like, there's fans. Or I say fans, they're more just like people who know who we are, kind of coming up and be like, yo, I love your channel. Can I get a photo kind of thing? which is crazy because I've never had that before in like a bar setting when I'm fucking wasted, So it's like, I've been intense. Like these blokes is coming up like, yo, dude, keep it up, photos, shots, photos, leave it by your drink, shots, pussy, shots. No pussy, but we're having a good time, and then we get the call that it's time for Swagger to hop up on the DJ deck. So I mean, you want to?
And I walk into the bar, and manager Ryan comes up to me, and he's like, hey, I want to introduce you to a couple of people that are like running the event. It's important that you meet them. And I was like, all right, well, I'm kind of drunk and stoned currently.
And wearing a metal helmet.
And wearing a metal helmet. So like, I'll just shake their hands and nod. Is that okay? He's like, yeah, that'll do. And I was like, all right. So I just shake these people's hands. Don't really listen to a word they say and just go, yeah, hi, I'm SwaggerSouls.
Sounds
Hi.
good. Excited for the future.
Nice to meet you.
Sounds good.
And they're like, all right, well, good luck on your set. I rock up to the stage with the helmet on. I'm talking with the DJ, and I'm like, yeah, so I'm not actually doing anything, am I? And he's like, no, just pretend. And I was like, oh, cool. All right.
Yeah.
So we were like, but can we request our own songs? And he's like, oh, yeah, for sure. He had this huge selection of music that we could go through, and he can, just mix it into the current song so that he could have a DJ. So we did, I think it kicked off. I made a couple of jokes, thanked MEO and Beta Bar, and then we just went into it.
Yeah, so me and Swagger were up there, and iNot was there as well, and Zuckles was kind of bouncing between there and the dance floor, and we were just hyping it up. It was so much fun,
So
like
good.
being the hype man. There's something so satisfying about like playing your favorite songs and just like hyping a crowd up while you're, while you're listening to it. It was just so dope. So there's some good pics that you'll probably see on Instagram and Twitter over the next couple weeks of.
I have like 3 pictures on my Instagram from the DJ set. Speaking of, I got an Insta now.
We all have Instagrams.
we all
You
have
should follow all
SwaggerSouls
of them.
official, baby. That's
John
the
on the
official
radio.
one.
The
good guy
McCreamy.
Fitz.
The
At Get
McCreamy.
Fucked,
The
cunt.
McCreamy.
Anyway, but we're hyping this up, and then it goes again. I'm just playing some classic club bangers, and then Swagger is like, play Toto Africa.
Oh, no.
And
All right.
yeah,
Guys, Anything for Views has just walked in giving me jewel pods, and he's completely naked. His penis is in front of me. What? There's only one jewel
He's
pod.
naked?
Oh no, he means
Well,
no.
thank
He's in
you.
his room right now.
This is in real life.
In real life.
This is happening
Yeah.
right
You
now.
want to say hi? You want to say hi?
Yeah, sure, I'll say hi.
Oh, fuck. Don't
we
say
go.
it.
Don't say it.
I wasn't going to say it.
All right, go.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Chad.
Hi.
All right. Thanks.
So
Thanks for sticking your uncircumcised dick in my face.
we should have specified this. So Swagger and iNot are currently still in Melbourne, and they're just recording this at manager Ryan's house. And Chad, anything reviews?
It's very late.
It's late. Chad, anything reviews just walked into Swagger's room where he's recording, fully naked, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
This is fucking cucumber, man.
What?
This isn't menthol.
I was talking about the jewel.
Oh, yeah, you just gave me jewel pods. Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah.
Whatever, it's nicotine.
Swagger requests Toto Africa, and if you've watched my recent Counter-Strike video, CSGO is a musical too, Swagger has a very interesting performance in that video where he's just singing Toto Africa at the top of his lungs, just screaming, very obnoxious.
Me and my mate, we were on the dance floor, and a good song had just ended, and we're like, all right, let's go outside for a little bit. So we start walking out, and then we just hear the intro to Africa, and we're like, oh, we can't leave now. We have to stay. So we walk back, and then all of a sudden you just hear Swagger screaming the lyrics to Africa, and you see everyone in the bar kind of confused for like a couple seconds, and then they just jam out to this horrific singing. It was amazing.
When I heard Swagger start singing, I literally cringed so hard that I ran off the stage and like hid behind a big curtain. And I was just like hid behind the curtain. I was like, oh man, I really hope that this doesn't go badly, because in my mind I was like, what if they don't understand the reference or the joke, and everyone's just like, what the fuck? Like, you just ruined the whole evening.
Screaming.
Like, yeah, because it sounded horrific. It sounded even worse than it did in the video through the mic. It was like peaking. And then like at the end of it, like I come back up and I'm just like jokingly like, I'm like making a show of congratulating Swagger, be like, nice job, man. That was great. And then I found out that actually everyone kind of loved it and thought it was a good meme. So thankfully at this club, everyone was, a bunch of nerds like us. So they kind of, and also a few of them were familiar with my videos. So a few of them got the joke, but
I was
Yeah, that
super
was-
stoned and super drunk as well, and I couldn't really remember many of the lyrics. So
Yeah.
I was worried that I would just be saying gibberish and screaming gibberish.
Well, you pretty much
But
were.
I actually nailed it.
It worked out.
I really nailed it.
Sure, you did.
I got every lyric.
Anyway, so now we just continue with the bangers, and I'm like, from this point on, I'm just like so hype. I'm just like, the crowd is like really like, it wasn't like a massive crowd, but it was enough to be like fucking hype. Everyone was bouncing. We're playing some real bangers. I'm just having a great time, just like bouncing on stage, and Swagger's hyping up the crowd in his helmet. iNoT's up there just fucking grooving and jamming. And then manager Ryan comes up and he's like, Fitz. And I'm like, what? He's like, Korean barbecue? And I'm like, I can't right now, dude. This is too much fun. He's like, nah, Korean barbecue. And I'm like, all right, it's probably time to go. So, yeah, I mean, we were so hammered at this point. Like, fuck, really hammered. But
You guys left
we
me
all-
there.
What
Well,
do you mean?
Zuckles,
There.
Zuckles was with some Christian girl, I believe. He was like,
my god.
And he was
you
so
want to talk
wasted.
about that? Does she listen to the podcast? Are you gonna?
Let's hope not. Let's just.
Okay.
Anyway, I walk out the club and I drop my phone and it breaks, and then I'm lost.
That's all right. Oh yeah, we just lose Zuckles because his phone broke. But anyway, I mean, Zuckles already had the memo in his head, Korean barbecue at this place, so he kind of knew where to go. So we met up with you later. But anyway, we got Korean barbecue, which was fantastic, and we just ate just this insanely tasty food. But I knew like it was getting to 3 a.m. and I was like, okay, we need to go home because we actually have to. Some of us have to wake up at like 9 tomorrow for the event again. We got an early start, so I mean, we kind of ate and we went home, and I went to bed and just thought like, what the fuck was that night? Like that was such a crazy night. That was so much fun.
I mean, you forgot when we were on the trolley on the way back too that night.
Oh,
We
yeah.
hopped on the trolley and we're like
On the
doing pull-ups
trolley?
and shit.
Who
Yeah,
went on with my
Or
helmet?
the tram. Yeah,
Oh yeah, well that was on the way to the after party.
yeah.
Yeah, so well that's just a little side note. We're all on this like tram. And yeah, I mean we were just like fucked on this tram, and all these like regular people were commuting, and I think like a group of us started chanting, and me and I were doing pull-ups, and we were truly wasted that night. But it was such a good night, and we really connected with like the guys from Click. We connected with like Baz and Cray and Prestige Clips and Loser Fruit. Like it was, it was just
They're
a
all
great night
cool.
for everyone. Really,
It's a shame we
Yeah,
had to
dope.
beat them the next day.
we're gonna talk about that now as well. We might as well.
Yeah.
say that, man.
That was
Everyone extremely hungover.
Me and Toby missed it.
Yeah.
We slept through it. I wake up at 12 and I'm like, when do we have to be at the event? He's like, oh, like 11. And I was like,
Let's talk about the night. Let's talk about getting Zuckles to bed first, because that was a
No,
bit of a
does
mission.
Zuckles want to talk about that?
No, I don't care. You can say it.
Okay,
I was
cool.
chewing on my phone.
You're literally trying to eat your phone. And we gave you water.
And he started
And-
chewing on the glass.
And he kept asking me like Swags, I want to smoke. I want to smoke.
So basically, I was like, we were trying to get Zuckles to drink some water and stuff, and when Zuckles was like that, he doesn't want to do anything that you want him to do, and he just likes being
He's
a
just being
cheeky
little
dog.
Shit.
He
Yeah,
just
cheeky
wants to
dog.
be a cheeky dog, so he'll just say no to everything, and then he knew that what would get on my nerves is if he started asking Swagger if he could smoke weed, because he knew that I wouldn't want him to be smoking weed when he's that drunk. So
Yeah.
he goes, Swags, can we smoke weed? And then he goes, and I kept on saying no, and then he goes to me, no, rock, paper, scissors, and if I win, you let me smoke weed, right? And I think he won the first one or something. And then for some reason, he was like, no, we'll go again. And then he lost. And then I was like, look, Zuckles, I knew that this would be what would get him to say no. I was like, Zuckles, I'm going to go to bed. I don't care. You can do whatever you want now. And then as I'm walking away, he goes, come back, Toby, stop me, Toby, stop me.
And I rolled a joint and we both smoked
Yeah.
it. And then as soon as he exhaled, he just goes, oh, fuck, that was a mistake.
So he was being extremely loud this entire time. Like we were in the Uber ride home, he was so loud,
Oh, my God.
That was pretty bad.
And I was
He kept screaming out the window like, get fucked. Ooh, get fucked. He's fucking screaming.
There's one point in the Uber where like a car kind of pulled out, and the Uber driver had to like swerve slightly. Like it wasn't even a big deal. Just like he just kind of swerved to avoid like a bit of a hassle or whatever. It wasn't even like a collision. And Zuckles just goes, did you just see that? That cunt just saved us. Just saved our life. And like, just starts going like, oh fuck man, I rated this guy 5 stars. And we were like, Mason, you know, like if you keep yelling, he's gonna rate you no stars. He's like, I don't care, man, he's getting 5 stars no matter what. Just like, you know, hyping up this Uber driver who's just kind of like,
he was Asian, he had no clue what we were saying.
Fucking anyway, so Jay and Mason were sharing a room, and Jay hadn't come out that night, so he was in bed asleep, right? And I was so worried because Mason was just being so loud. And I was like, dude, I got to take him up to his bedroom, but I don't want him to wake Jay. And it was the sweetest fucking thing because Mason was fucked off his face. And as soon as we get to the door, he's just completely silent. And he's just...
not even.
Dude, you were so quiet. You were so quiet. I took you in there and you were just like whispering to me like, yo, can you give me my retainer? And it was like you were sober. And I was just like, oh,
What the fuck?
He's so nice.
It was a special connection
teammate.
between Zuckles and
It was the sweetest
That was
thing.
so fucked.
they're like they're brothers at the end of the day. You know, you're fucking you bicker a lot, but when it comes to it, you look out for each other.
That's so gay.
That's so
Can I just-
crack up.
It's so gay.
Can I just say that as soon as I got in the door, I was like having none of Mason's shit. I was like, okay, I'm drinking water and I'm going to bed. And Mason was, you know, Toby was trying to like deal with Mason. I was
I've
like,
dealt
Mason,
with drunk Mason before, and it's always a mission.
fuck it. You know, I was like, Mason, you're being retarded. Get some fucking sleep. And I just
think
walk
Toby
upstairs
has-
and go to bed.
Toby has a tally now of how many times he's dragged me around.
I didn't have to drag you that time, which is lucky because it was wooden stairs.
It was funny waking up. I think every day I woke up because I was on the top bunk. Every day I got woken up and I didn't like wake up myself, and it was funny because there was a new person at the door every time, and I just saw the top of your heads, and that was it.
Yeah, I remember waking up the next morning and I didn't feel like headache hungover, but I could just feel like, okay, there's still a lot of liquor in my stomach kind of thing, like a bit like uneasy. So yeah, I wake up at 9.
Yeah,
maybe it was like 8:30.
I think it was like you had to be at the event at like 10.
Yeah, we were up.
Yeah,
there.
I woke up at 8:30. I woke up at 8:30, and which was early if you're going to bed at like 3:30 in the morning. So yeah, I like go into Zuckles' room and I'm like, "Hey, buddy, how you feeling?" He's like, "I'm good." And I'm like, "Okay, we gotta get going." He's like, "Yeah, no worries." I was like, "Oh, surprisingly cooperative this morning," because earlier in the night before we were going out, he was in the Uber being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get blackout drunk tonight, like just 100%. I'm getting fucked." We were like, "Mason,
I
we gotta
tried.
be up early. It's probably not a good idea." And he was like, "Nah, I'm doing it. Like, I don't even give a fuck." And we're like, "Okay, well, as long as you're up the next day, do whatever you want." And you know what? Credit to him. You were up the next day, and
not only was he up
getting
the
ready.
next day, he was a beast.
Yeah, he fucking slayed out on Fortnite.
He was
I have
killing
autism.
it. So
2 1 HP clutches back
Fuck,
to
that
back.
was insane.
It was,
that was
getting ahead of
insane.
ourselves. We go to the event, you know, and we go in, and this is more like an actual esports kind of vibe. So we actually go into the stadium itself, and we don't know anything. All I know is that I'm going on stage at some point, and that we're doing a charity match versus Click. So we're versing Baza, Cray, and Loser Fruit. So yeah, turns out like we walk in the arena, and I'm greeted by this guy in a leather jacket who's like the host, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna bring you up on stage. I'm gonna ask you a few questions about Fortnite because you're like a pro player, right? And then we're gonna sit down, and I'm gonna run, and you're gonna just, you know, we're gonna play a game, and you're gonna tell us about your strategies of Fortnite." I'm like, "Dude, I am not good at Fortnite. I haven't played Fortnite in over a month. Like, I'm not good." And he's just like, "Okay, well, you know, we'll just wing it." I was like, "Okay, cool." So I go up on stage, and like the camera's on me and shit. I'm like, "Holy fuck, this is some serious shit." It was like quite an impressive stage. And he's just asking me about stuff, and I'm just going with the flow. And we sit down and play Fortnite, and he's asking me questions about where I drop, and I'm like kind of taking the piss and being sarcastic. And I'm like, you know, he's asking me like random questions like, "Oh, so what do you do to warm up for a game?" And I'm like, "You know, I like to meditate for 2 hours and burn some incense." And I'm just like kind of like memeing with him a bit, but he's not really on the same wavelenth as me, so it was a little uncomfortable.
He doesn't know.
But it was kind of, you know, it was kind of a bit of a meme. And anyway, we sort of just we winged that entire segment, and then I hop off stage. Then Click Crew arrives, and then, you know, we go up and we verse them on stage.
Yeah, it was a bit of trash.
And yeah, I died, you know, first 5 minutes both rounds, but Zuckles and McCreamy and iNoToRiOuS just slayed it both times, like crushed Click.
And it was beasting.
It was kind of not organized that well because when Click died, there was no system where like they could get back in the game. So they just they died fairly early both times, and they just had to sit there and watch for like 30 minutes as Jay and Zuckles finished a game of Fortnite and just slayed the entire team. So yeah, it was kind of funny.
I thought it was interesting watching the VOD because there was just two like casters that were commenting on the game.
Oh my lord!
And it was just the commentary was but
they were bashing me.
What was funny was under the commentary you can just hear a little bit of what you guys were saying. And you hear trash, and yoink, and just screaming and laughing. It was fucking hilarious.
It just went. The casters just went dead.
And you could hear Fitz playing Hans Zimmer.
At one point, okay, so like after I died, I was like, I'm bored. I'm like, oh, this will be a good meme. I'll like hold down my push to talk key and I'll play Hans Zimmer dramatic music through my phone. And I'm playing it, and the guys like eventually hear it. They're like, "What the fuck is that? Is that you, Fitz?" I'm like, "Yeah, boys." And they're like, "Fuck, what the fuck?" And I'm like, "I don't know." So I'm like playing this dramatic music, and they're listening to it. And then like a guy from the production team comes up behind me and taps me on the shoulder and goes, "Hey, is it you playing the music?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, they can all hear that. You need to cut that out right now." I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." And then I was like, "Wait. Can the stream hear everything we're saying?" And
so scary.
And no one confirmed that, but we were swearing a lot and saying some kind of dodgy shit. So I was like, boys, I think the viewers at home can hear us, so just keep it family friendly. And they were like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Shh." So yeah, I mean, they turned our volume way down after they realized we were swearing a little bit. But I mean, it was a little dodgy. At one point, I remember saying distinctly, "Click is trash" as a joke. So not the best sportsmanship. Apologies to the Click organization for that one.
They were doing it as well. They were so
doing it. We were memeing up the drama a little bit.
It was funny. It was funny. It was a good time.
But no, so McCreamy and Zuckles totally destroyed both games. They won a nice victory royale in the second. And then it got to a Fortnite.
iNot played insane as well.
I'd like to point out, I
also did adequately.
Adequately? No, I frag Jay. I was doing good.
No, Matt killed it in the last game. Let's be honest. He crushed it. And then it got to the last part of the event, which was a Fortnite dance-off. Zuckles, want to tell us about that? Want to tell us about your dance-off?
Yeah, I danced.
Thank you. That was the dance off. Moving on. No. So, I mean, right before the event, they were running us through the itinerary, and they're like, "Okay, so we're going to do the charity event, and we'll see who wins, and then we're going to do a dance off, and then that'll be it." And we're like, "Whoa, dance off? Like, what the fuck? Like, we didn't agree to no Fortnite dance off. Like, that's going to be super cringe." But it turns out it was just Mason, so it was fine.
And me being me, as usual, taking one for the boys. Gets up on this stage and has no fucking clue how to dance at all. But, you know.
You just memed it, dude. You owned it. So it was Zuckles versus Loserfruit. And if you're familiar with Loserfruit, you'll know that she does like the Fortnite dances on her channel quite a bit, like for videos. So she's actually quite good at them. So the music's playing and like the things are up on the screen and they're kind of copying the dances and just looking at each other and, you know, Zuckles is going in, like you actually did them pretty well, but you're also memeing it and, you know, just fucking around, and Loserfruit was doing well as well.
I still won. What?
You won. So I mean, like it basically got decided by an audience vote. So the commentator was like, "All right, make some noise for Loserfruit," and we're like, "Yeah." It was like, "Make some noise for Zuckles." They're like, "Yeah," because, you know, I mean, yeah, there are just a few more Mason fans in the crowd apparently, which is why he won, really. But I mean, you won.
Fuck yeah, boys. Fuck yeah.
So yeah,
you mentioned it was a charity event. What?
Oh yeah,
you won what?
$5,000 to Beyond Blue.
Beyond Blue.
Yeah, Beyond Blue, which is an Australian charity, which is for
mental health.
Men's mental health, right?
Mental health.
Yeah.
Yes. So Poggers, dude. I mean,
awesome.
Misfits.
Chosen by Mason's mind.
Mason represented Misfits well, and we got to donate $5,000 of our earnings to a mental health organization, Beyond Blue, in Australia, which is awesome. So we're all feeling pretty good after this. We go off stage and we just chat with Click a bit, and we're all friendly, and yeah, then we go up to our private booth and we chat a bit more, and then they get their flight and we head home. Yeah, so that's pretty much the whole MEO. Oh no, we did another meet and greet before that, which was like on a smaller scale, but you know, still really nice. It only lasted about an hour.
Nice.
yeah, it was like a Sunday, so it was a bit more quiet. But I mean, yeah, it was just great to squeeze in a bit more of meeting you guys. So thanks to everyone who showed up on Sunday. And yeah, at this point, I'm like shattered. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go home. I'm done. Like, what an insane week. But like, yeah, this is definitely. I was still feeling the liquor from last night, feeling a bit sick in my stomach. So I had a quiet night, just put on my headphones and watched some Breaking Bad. But you guys, or some of you guys, headed over to Ryan's house and did some crazy shit. So tell me about that.
Fuck.
It was me, iNot, and Mason. Mason
I was
went
there
over there
already.
earlier, and he had taken a dab. And the first thing that he tells me when I walk in is he goes, "Oi, you're gonna take a dab. You need to take a dab."
No, I
And then-
didn't.
and
I
was like,
said,
"What?" And
don't
then-
take a dab.
No,
I
you said don't take a dab right after you told me to take a dab. Because 5 minutes after you said take a dab, I think the dab hit you, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm fucked. Don't take one. Actually, don't take one." And I was like, "Fuck that, I'll take one." And then I took one, and then I took one.
No,
we were just
you walked in, and I was saying, and me and Ryan and Sam were fucked. We were like,
I could tell.
fucked. And I was saying, like, they're about to fucking walk in and they're about to take dabs right now. We can't let that happen. They can't take any. And as soon as you walked in, I was like, you can't take any fucking dabs. Don't do it. Because I was just fucked.
Yeah, we took him anyways because it was good. We were high for a little bit, had a chat, and then Mason was like, I need to like close my eyes. So Ryan just brought him upstairs into the room where I'm currently in, which is Ryan's room, and he slept on the bed right next to me. And so he was asleep in the attic, and it was just me, iNot, Sam, Ryan, and then our friend from before. Our friend from before, the guy that drinks and gambled.
Mystery man.
Yeah, he walks in with a backpack, and we're all just kind of fried, so we don't know what's up. And he takes out a can of spray paint and just starts shaking it. And it's yellow spray paint. He just starts spray painting on this white wall a giant yellow dick.
What the fuck?
And I'm
Wait,
there,
he's serious?
my mouth is hanging open, and I'm just like,
Did Ryan?
oh my God.
Did Ryan know he was going to do this?
No, I don't know if Ryan okayed it or not. I was so fucking high. I was playing
did.
Bloons. I was playing Bloons Tower Defense 5 on my phone, and I just look up to this, and I'm like, what the fuck? He's spray painting a dick, and he fucking spray painted this huge dick, and then he spray painted Misfits, and then I was like, oh fuck, that's awesome. So I took a can of red spray paint, and then I went over Misfits, and then I added my own shit. And then soon enough, it was like 3 or 4 people just spray painting the wall. And it smelled like paint. There was fumes everywhere.
You guys covered your faces, right?
No, we didn't at all.
You're
We were
supposed to do that.
Yeah,
completely exposed
spray
to the
paint fumes are
fumes.
very toxic.
I mean, the fumes
Yeah,
made
you
it
think?
up to the top floor, and I was practically. You chromed me. You chromed me in my sleep.
God.
You literally. I
He
woke up
was
to the.
asleep and the fumes.
I was
Like,
inhaling them in my
dude,
sleep.
it was like
Probably lost a
15
few
to-
more brain cells.
It was 15 to 20 minutes after the fact. After that, we spray painted everything and put it down and didn't spray paint anymore. And I'm like, oh, I need to like wake up Mason and tell him like that we should probably go home soon. So like I was impatient, so I ran up the stairs. I charged up these stairs, and I hear Mason just go.
I freaked the
He
fuck
just
out,
woke
dude.
up and freaked out.
And he's like,
He thought he was getting swatted or something.
dude, the stairs were like this. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, holy shit. And then and then it's just this little fucking short cunt top of the stairs. And he's like, yeah, Mason, like, we need to get out of here soon, you know, we gotta wake up and clean the Airbnb tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, dude, don't stress it, I'll come out in a minute, or I said I might stay here tonight. And you're like, no, like, you gotta come. And then I was like, nah, and then you come up and try and fucking rip the blankets off me. And you were naked! And then there was this awkward silence. It was like awkward silence, and Swagger does this, and he rips the blanket off. He goes, "Oh, what the fuck?" And then he starts waddling. Like, he does this thing when he's high, and he starts waddling like left and right. And he's like, "What the fuck? Like, that could have been really bad." Like, and I was like, "Yeah."
I didn't see anything. Maybe a bit of pubic hair, but that's about it.
Oh, that's so funny.
I've already seen your dick before. Most of us in this fucking call has seen your dick.
Yep.
Sure, everyone has.
Ingrained into my fucking brain.
Yikes.
Yeah, was that all that happened that night? Was there anything else?
Well,
kinda
when
got
he was waking
fucked on
up, he was
spray
just
paint?
like, dude, I'm fucked. I was like, yeah, we spray painted, and he's like, is that what it is? And so
Tommy's started panicking.
Great, dude.
there were some fumes up in this fucking attic. Oh my god.
I wonder how Ryan slept in that, because surely it would have.
We just opened up the balcony there.
Yeah, I opened the
yeah.
doors
That
downstairs.
would've
It
worked.
wasn't-
I was in a room trapped with that fucking everything.
Yep.
Extra
Yep.
retarded now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, so then you guys just headed home.
Yeah.
And yeah, I woke up like early the next day because we had a flight booked at like midday, me, Toby, and Jay. So we kind of cleaned up a bit, we packed, and I opened up the door to Swagger and iNoT's room, and I was like, bye guys, and they just looked like an absolute wreck. So I was like, all right, I'll
We were
just
so stoned at the end
I'll
of
just
the night.
leave him be.
So tired.
Mason, do you think just to end on, we should just go back a few days and talk about our edibles experience when we were just like felt like rocks?
Like, oh, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Let's just this because we won't cover this next time because we've got a better story. So we'll just talk about that real quick. So, and this is good for Swagger as well. So we're at Ryan's house. I can't remember what day it is. It's somewhere in the middle of the trip, and we decided to take these edibles that Ryan has, as we do here at Misfits.
As we do.
Praise be.
Edibles
And yeah, we take like we are told that they're 35 milligrams each. So we're like, okay. I personally took 2. I think
I had
Swagger. I
2.
don't know how many. So you had 2. We all had 2, I think. And we're chilling, and I'm like, I go upstairs and talk to Ryan for a bit, and then I come out and I'm like, where's Swagger? And Swagger comes downstairs. He's like, yeah, so I just threw up in the bathroom.
Okay, here's the thing. Because I take like 2 or 3 of these gummies, and they tell me it's 25
I
to
remember
35.
now.
I might have had.
They were
I might
rank
have-
chocolates.
No,
they were
I
like,
had
they
3.
smelled so
I
bad.
had 3. They tasted so bad.
They
And
tasted.
I
They tasted like literal like weed.
I haven't eaten edibles and had it taste like absolute dog shit before.
Oh, so bad.
So I was
so
like-
bad.
I was like, wow, like these taste so terrible. I don't like, and they're only 25 to 35 each. That's weird. And then everybody at once downstairs, everybody in the room says, oh yeah, the edibles are 100 each. And I go, are you serious?
Swagger freaks
I'm
the
like,
fuck out.
are you serious? They're like, yeah, we're fucked. Like, we're actually fucked. And meanwhile, everybody there is freaking out. There's one girl that's there, and she's freaking out.
Yeah, and it was her first time taking edibles.
Yeah, Mason is sitting there freaking out, eating McDonald's fries, just going, "I'm fucked."
Yeah, yeah. Mason had already been at the Airbnb at their place for like a few hours previous, just like, and he was just so stoned.
Yeah,
in the
but you
garden.
know
So
what I'm-
like,
you know when I'm fucked.
Everybody is having an ordeal and a terrible time on these edibles.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I believe that they're 150 each and that I was lied to? So I was like, okay, better safe than sorry. So I just fucking went upstairs and puked out like half or more of the edibles.
Ugh.
And then they broke the news to me that they were just fucking with me and that it actually was 25 to 35. So I just had another one. And then
oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
pops another
so-
one in his mouth.
just a little bit of bulimia just to kick off the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was pretty fucking stoned.
Dude, they tasted so.
Yeah, they tasted so bad. Mason was like really anxious when we arrived as well, so he was already fucked. But yeah, I mean, we took these edibles, and the plan was just to take the edibles and then go back to ours. So me, iNoT, Swag, and we sort of rescued Zuckles as well. Kind of walked him out of the room, got in an Uber, and as we're in the Uber, I kind of feel him kicking in. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really feeling it too much. Like, you know, whatever. We get in the front door. Me and Mason sit down on the couch. We could not move for 3 hours.
Yeah,
Like, we were just
I came home like a couple of hours after them, and I walk in, and they're just giggling on the couch together. It
we were
was
just watching it. So
funny.
yeah, we all sat there and watched videos for a bit, and then Swag was like, "Dude, I am so fucking high. Like, I am so high." And he's like, "I'm going to bed."
And we're like, we'll get food.
Like, okay. Yeah. So
just
me and
looked at
Macy
that.
order like McDonald's, and we're like, "Dude, this is gonna be so good when it arrives."
And they're sitting
Mason
there.
kept going. Mason kept saying, I feel like a literal rock right now.
Dude, literally though, it felt like I was a rock, like proper stoned, right? It literally felt proper stoned.
Literally stoned, like made of stone.
Yeah.
That's how stoned we were.
And the food was so good. The McDonald's was awesome.
We got Macca's. I'm telling you, I've never had a better meal in my life. That
So
shit was
true,
fucking
bro.
so good. And we were just pog champing over this food. And then Toby gets home and he sees us there. We're like, okay.
You made me go and get the food for you.
Oh yeah. We're like, Toby, I think the food's there. Could you please get us the food? We literally are stones right now. He's like, yeah, okay, I got you. So yeah, and then Toby goes to bed, and then it took us about 20 minutes to hype ourselves up to actually get off the couch, Avis, and because
we were fucked. We were but like perfect fucked, dude.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was so good, so like just great. We had a really good meal. And then, we got
bit of father-son time.
Bit of father-son bonding. I can't remember. I didn't even know if we watched the videos or anything. I think we just sat there.
We literally just sat there. I was like, yeah, you said videos. I'm like, dude, I don't remember any fucking videos.
I played like Mason this trippy music through my noise-canceling headphones, and he was kind of like hyping about that, which is so nice. Cool. And then we just went to bed. So I think that's pretty much all the stories we can cover for this week on the podcast. Except for one, which is the best one of all, which is coming next week. So
I reckon it tops Poland. I'm going to say it right now.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say the opposite, but it was definitely a very interesting experience. So we'll talk about that next week. Guys, we're sorry for missing a week. We know we're a bit inconsistent. That's pretty much our entire brand at this point. Sorry. We're all back home now, so it's back to work. We're all back on the grind. He's not, but you will be tomorrow. Home. Yeah, so we'll all be back home, and we'll all be getting back into the swing of things. So expect weekly podcasts every Saturday in the US and Sunday if you're in the AU and Z region. Anyone got anything else to add? I think we can call it.
If you ever get anxious while high, beat off.
Well, there you go. Words of wisdom. We should hit a gong after, especially if you're on a plane.
Well, I'm gonna go take some dabs and get knocked down.
Awesome. All right, great. Well, we've been the Misfits, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.